Even though this week Kristen is filled with manatee love and joy in the way that Katy Perry was when she got off of that Blue Origin rocket and said that she felt the love of the world.
Do you know that if Katy Perry listen,
she felt the love of the world when it landed.
Bert, if Katy Perry can call herself an astronaut because she flew up to space for 11 minutes, I can call myself a marine biologist because I saw a manatee.
Hard to fight.
Right?
You've been watching them on the webcams this morning?
I thought I saw one. It was a turtle, but that's okay.
You know the difference?
I do. Just like a marine biologist would. Boom.
So even though she's filled with all this love and joy and positivity, she still disagrees with me because I say that you can have it all. Kristen goes, no, you can't. And I got this email a couple of weeks ago that I've been trying to get to that I thought would lead us into a pretty good debate about it.
I am so ready for this debate. I did my homework, man.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay. I have done none.
Okay. But you do have an email to read.
Yes. Hey, Bert, I'm 37 years old and about to make a big time life decision. I've been listening to you since high school and I didn't really have male role models growing up. And believe it or not, I kind of looked up to you.
Oh, God, look.
He wrote, not physically.
Damn, Chris, sorry.
Yeah,
That was out loud. Yo.
what happened to manatee love?
I need to pull up the webcam again. Sorry.
He writes, not physically. I tower over you. Anyway, I hope this isn't weird, but I could really use some advice and don't really have anybody in my life to turn to. If I had an uncle, I'd want to be like you. So I hope this isn't weird. It's nice.
It's very sweet.
So anyway, like I said, I'm 37 years old, coming up on a big life decision. I have the opportunity to take a new job with a huge company that would put me in a tax bracket I never thought I'd be in. Like crazy high, he writes. But it would be a demanding job that would take a lot of sacrifice on my wife, kids, and our way of life. We travel a lot together, and I know you do too. I saw in an AMA, Ask Me Anything, a while ago, you said you had thoughts that you could have done more in your career, but you settled. Could you explain more? And if you could do it all over again, would you choose more work and money with more prestige, or are you happy settling for less? Thanks for any help. I respect you a lot, from Jared. So what I meant by that was there are some local personalities that I look at that just have more of a grind than I do. You can tell because they're out late night in clubs, or they are hosting different events for different organizations, or they're the voice of different organizations around Atlanta, while they were also doing a shift on the radio. Our show is a little bit different because we have so much content on this that it pulls a lot more from us than other shows do. But I do look at some of those personalities sometimes going, you know what, had I grinded a little bit more, maybe I would be that, or I would be doing that. Or maybe, I dabbled in the idea of TV at one point. Maybe I could have done more with the syndication, but with all of that, it would have taken a lot of time away from my family, And as I look back at it now, I got two great relationships with my sons. In fact, last week, my son wrote me a card and it said that I was his best friend. And right there, I mean, when your almost 18-year-old son tells you like he's your best friend, I know it sounds corny and all, but man, I mean, is there a better gift than that?
No. That's not corny.
So when I read something like that, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I made the decisions I did. And I do, looking now at my life, I can say I have it all. Oh, I didn't feel so on the way up sometimes because I was pulling from my family to do work. But I think the argument that I'm going to make with you this morning, Kristen, is your definition of having it all changes over the years. It all depends on what your definition of what it all is. I don't think you have to be either rich and successful or have no family life whatsoever or personal life whatsoever. I think the definition of having it all is balance.
And that's the thing. As a working mom, I don't have balance. And I've had conversations with colleagues and acquaintances, and that there really is no such thing as balance. One day something's going to give. One day your family's going to give. One day work's going to give. And maybe that is a type of balance, but the phrase having it all makes my skin crawl, and it's so archaic, and I would do anything just to just rid it from the earth. And to explain, I think having it all has never really been directed at men. This is a phrase that's been directed at women. And that's the origin.
I don't think that's fair at all. Okay. I really don't think it's a gender thing.
I do. And so the reason why is because having it all originated with Helen Gurley Brown, okay? She wrote a book back in 1982 called Having It All, and it was directed at women. And just to let you know, this was a self-help book that she wrote. But the thing is, having it all has evolved over the years, and now when you say that to a woman, you can have it all. You can be a wife and a mother and have a successful career and a thriving personal life. You can have it all. That phrase, I feel, over the years has been targeted. That phrase has been targeted at women. You hardly ever hear somebody tell a man like Mo, you can have it all. You can be a working father and you can have it all.
I must run in a very different circle then.
Really?
Because, yeah. I mean, I'm in a men's circle, and we talk about this all the time.
I got to back Kristen on this one. The only times I've heard it are for relation for women, specifically working moms.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm a man, and I'm in a men's group, and this is what we talk about quite a bit.
I believe you, and I think there is validity to that for sure. I mean, that is the experience you're having, and that's something you're talking about with your men's group. I do wonder how many other groups of men who are talking about that are actually talking about that, because your men's group, you have a lot of very successful career men in that group. And so I think those conversations do happen, but I think when we're talking largely from a societal standpoint, it's generally aimed at women. The same way looking a certain way or losing weight is generally aimed at women, but it also affects men.
So from my female perspective, the whole phrase having it all, I feel has always set you up for failure. And I understand your definition of what is having it all. Do I have it all? No. Do I have enough? Yes. I have a great career that I've worked really hard at, right? Are there other things that I would have liked to have accomplished by now? Yeah. I have a beautiful family and I have a beautiful son, but am I missing his Easter egg hunt on Thursday so I can do a speech for Bert's Big Adventure? Yeah. If I was having it all, I'd be able to do both, and I can't.
See, my definition of having it all is having enough in all of these areas.
So I have enough, and I was talking to Cassie about this yesterday. I think another question you need to ask yourself, I don't think you should ask yourself, do I have it all? I think you should ask yourself, do you have enough, and are you fulfilled? I feel are you fulfilled is the better question. And when I ask myself that ebb and flows. It's a different response every single day. Some days I am very fulfilled, other days I am not. And I think too, for women, when it comes to having it all, if we're just bare bonesing it, right? If we're not going to do all the nuances, because this is a very layered, nuanced question that you ask yourself, can you have it all? I refuse to use that phrase because I feel it sets me up for failure. And no, I can't have it all, but that's okay. I can have enough. And I also think for women, until we close the pay gap, until women have autonomy back over their bodies, until we have better maternity leave, until we have better prenatal care, until we have better child care, I think we are set up to fail, thinking we can have it all. And the prime example was when Representative Brittany Peterson had to fly from Colorado to D.C. with her 4-week-old baby so she could vote because they wouldn't allow her to vote by proxy. Our society isn't set up for women to have it all. Your
side is better than mine because I chose to hang out with my friends and not do the research.
I personally don't think you can have it all. I don't. I think maybe I've had these conversations amongst my circles with men as well. I just think they're a bit different. The sacrifices may be different at different levels. Maybe not as a working father per se, because I'm not a father, but it's terms as far as career, family, relationship, you're going to sacrifice something. Mm-hmm. And I think most successful people will tell you that. It reminds me of a debate I have with my lady all the time, jokingly, of where I'm always telling her, you always tell me you want to spend more time with me, but then I always need to have this situation financially to where I have to be able to do everything you want to do. I can't give you both. I would love to, right? I have to work in order for you to be happy. At the same time, if I'm at work, you're not happy. You can't have it all. And I think having it all does change at different stages of your life. But at the same time, typically, if you are ambitious, you are going to sacrifice something. And it's almost impossible to fill every bucket the way you would want to at any given time.
Well, I think that's just how life is set up. Like, there are seasons of life where you have to pour more into one bucket so that in a different season of life, you don't have to focus on that bucket as much. Like, I think about anywhere in your career or in school. Like, I remember when I was in high school or in college, like, I was grinding like 24/7 so that I could get to a place at 27, 28 and not feel like I had regrets in the past. Like, I set up my life to be a certain way so that I could focus on other things. And I think that goes for a career too. I see my dad did that as well, where like there were years where he was living very much that stereotypical dad life where he went to work and then he was exhausted when he came home. And he did that so that now at 28, we have more of a relationship because he has the freedom because he set up his career that way. So my advice to this emailer, this caller, I basically just be to like realize that this is a season of life where maybe you do have to grind a little bit more in this area.
Here's Amanda. Good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Hey, good morning. One of the things that's bugging me is that you guys are kind of mixing up having it all. It's either you either have it all or you have enough and that's as good as it gets. But it's kind of like when you have achieved enough and you know that your plate is full. But so having it all to me is not having it easy, like having it made. So I think that we shouldn't mix up having it all with having it made. Because to Kristen's point, I have 2 kids. My kids are older than Kristen's. My kids are very busy in sports. And believe me, it tugs at your heart when you can't be at every sporting event and every practice. And some of the moms can. But I know that I have it all. I've got healthy, beautiful kids. I have an excellent career, beautiful house. We're all healthy, and we're able to do the vacations and things like that. Am I a celebrity that has a nanny cooking and, chauffeuring my children? No, but I do think I have it all. And, I feel very blessed. I've worked very hard. Are there more things I want to accomplish? Absolutely. But I think that the mindset that a lot of women do have is that there's this, we confuse having it all with having it made. And I do think in some ways Bert is right, where there's that layer of having enough is very similar to having it all. But I think that we just need to get our mindset to think more about, like, don't focus on having it made, but us appreciating that we do have it all, and maybe there's a little more to that.
Yeah, that's a great call. Thank you very much. I feel like it just comes down to acceptance.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, do I have it all? No, and I'm okay with that. Like, I have enough. Like, I feel very fortunate with what I have, and I'm okay with that, and I'm appreciative of that. But at the same time, I just feel like that phrase has been shoved down, women's throats and especially working mothers' throats for so long, and that it has set a lot of people up for failure and disappointment. So instead of trying to have it all, just make sure your life is fulfilled and you have enough.
This is one we can circle back to tomorrow morning. If you want to go on our Facebook page and make some comments about this, I'm sure the video will be up later, and you want to make some comments there, we'll read them tomorrow morning.
The Bert Show.